Welcome to the Clubhouse Defense Squad gameplay video. As mentioned in the setup video, these are the rules as of March 26, 2018. So if you've played Clubhouse Defense Squad before, you might have a small amount to unlearn, but most of the game is still the same. So before we get on to my turn, let's break down what an action is. First of all, an action can be a movement. In Clubhouse Defense Squad, as a defender, there are 9 spaces you can occupy on the board. You can occupy the clubhouse or gates 1 through 8. So one action would be moving from the clubhouse to a gate or from gate to gate. The other most common action is rolling your base attack against a bad guy. And then finally, some characters have cards that do cost an action, like Dextra's Fix Kit. But the vast majority of cards don't cost actions. So let's go ahead and just jump right into my turn. First, I collect my allowance. For Dextra, it's 5. Now my lab coat just happens to cost 5, so I'm going to go ahead and spend that and buy the lab coat. Because the card is equipment, I place it next to my card. The lab coat is a shield +1, which means that anytime a bad guy is attacking me, I take 1 less damage. Then I flip a new card to replace that one. As I said, most cards don't cost actions to play, so let's look at what I have in my starting hand. I see I have a heal +1 or coin +2. I'm not hurt yet, so I will go ahead and play that as the coin +2. Now note the card says it can be used on self or another defender in the same area. So I'm in the clubhouse with Ha. I could choose to give him those 2 coins or heal him 1. If I was, say, at gate 4 with the Dino Defender, I could also heal him 1 or give him 2 coins. However, at this point, I'm selfish and I'm just going to take those 2 coins for myself. I also have Cash-O-Matic, which is coin +4. That is actually the same cost as that Reverso Ray, which I really like, so I'm going to go ahead and buy that. Because it's Arsenal, I'm going to add it to my discard pile. Then I'll go ahead and flip 1 more card. I can't buy anything else, so let's see what else I can do on my turn. I'm noticing there's a lot of trouble at gate 7. I take 1 action. I can then attack Dr. No Goodnick or Cyberg. I have my laser cannon, which is damage +2. So I'll go ahead and play that, and my first roll will have 2 damage added to whatever it is. I get a 3, but the gate effect here is defenders roll +1, so that means I actually rolled a 4. Unfortunately, that's still just 1 damage, but I played my laser cannon, so that's 3 damage. So I'll go ahead and take that away from Dr. No Goodnick. I also have this damage or repair card. I could repair the gate up a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and take my chances and attack Dr. No Goodnick again with a damage +1. Unfortunately, I rolled a 1. Even with the defender's roll +1, that's still a miss for Dextra. Because it's a miss, the damage +1 doesn't have any effect. For my final action, I'll go ahead and just take another shot at No Goodnick. I'll do a 6, which becomes a 7, which means I do another 3 damage to him. I've used up all my actions. I still have Helperbot, which leaves me with 3 options. I can play him right now and have him go and repair something. I could discard him, or I can keep him until my next turn. We'll go ahead and do that. So now I have 2 more things to do before my turn is done. I roll for bad guys, and then I draw my hand back up to 5. We'll get to rolling bad guys in a second. First, I'm going to draw up my hand. Because I kept Helperbot, I only draw 4 cards, because each turn you draw up to 5. Before rolling for bad guys, let's look at their cards. In the upper left-hand corner is whether they're a nemesis or a regular bad guy. In the upper right-hand corner is the reward that you get for defeating them. So you could draw a card and add it to your current hand, gain an action, gain a coin, or gain a health. Some bad guys also have an effect. Like for Poltergeist, all defender attacks are damage -1, so they kind of have a shield. Along the sides are their health, And then down in the lower third is what they do on their turn. This is what happens when you roll for bad guys. So at the end of my turn, I'll go ahead and roll the d8, and then we'll go around the board from gate 1 to 8 and from slots 1 to 3, resolving the bad guy's actions. So at gate 4, Gloom will do 4 damage, and then the Poltergeist will do an additional 2 damage. At gate 6, the Nausea Clan will do 4 damage. At gate 7, Dr. No Goodnick will do 4 damage. His card also says Dusk -2, which means the Dusk Clock moves 2 closer to the final moon. Cyberg will do 3 damage, not only to his gate, but the ×3 means he does it to each gate adjacent to him. He also moves the Dusk Clock down 1 more. And then finally, the Yeti at gate 8 will do an additional 3 damage. So while the bad guys are on the outside, they will attack the gate. But if the bad guy takes down the gate, they then move in on the clubhouse. So let's go over how bad guys move in. On Dr. No Goodnick's turn, he knocks the gate down to 3. On Cyberg's turn, he knocks the gate over. Nothing else happens for them on that turn. At the beginning of the next turn, if the gate has not been repaired and it's still fallen, No Goodnick will move into the first slot, and Cyberg will move into the second slot. Note that they don't do any attacks on that turn. Moving in is their action. Then on their next turn, if I stand between them and the clubhouse, all their attacks happen to me. But if there is no one between them and the clubhouse, then all their attacks happen to the clubhouse. Now, if on his action, Dr. No Goodnick was the one to knock down the gate, then on Cyberg's action, he would move in, taking over the number 1 slot. So on the next turn, he would attack, and No Goodnick would spend his action moving into the number 2 slot. Some bad guys also heal. If it's heal self, then they just return the hit points to themselves. If it's heal all, it is all bad guys within the same zone as they are. So what happens when your health falls to 0? You're not out of the game, you're kidnapped by that bad guy. You discard any cards in your hand and get rid of any coins. When another defender defeats the bad guy that's captured you, you go back to the clubhouse, your health goes to your revive level, and you draw up 3 cards for just that first turn. Once you've played that first turn, you draw back up to 5 like normal. Finally, the game ends in one of 3 ways. First, the best, you win if you defeat all of the bad guys in the bad guys draw pile. Second, you lose if the clubhouse health falls to 0. Third, you lose if the Dusk Clock reaches the final moon. The dinner bell has rung, it's time to go home. And that is the gameplay video of Clubhouse Defense Squad. We're going to be sending out a survey soon to beta backers, so please let us know everything that you think about the game so we can make sure it's the best it can be when we go to Kickstarter. And thank you for being awesome.